We just got done with Halloween Kills. Just came out tonight on Peacock at midnight, and I kind of wanted to get a raw reaction of it from the two of us. We didn't do a review on Monday. Ebba was we were out of town. It was Ebba's birthday. We went to Epcot, so I kind of wanted to do like a little fun extra. It's not our usual like review format.
This is our makeup movie.
Correct. We're going to kind of give like our thoughts initially, and then we got to get into spoilers because what we liked and disliked. I kind of want everybody to go into this movie without knowing anything about it, and I don't like really want to like put any ideas in your head as far as like spoilers. So yeah, I mean, I guess we can both say that this film was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. I was a little confused because of it going. I didn't know that it went straight into exactly what happened after the Halloween 2018.
Yeah, this movie starts. I mean, literally. I mean, like as soon as like the film cuts, this movie like picks it up.
Yeah. So like we were saying earlier that we would recommend watching the 2018 Halloween.
Yeah, it's got to be fresh.
So that you can kind of be like, oh, okay, like this goes like right into it. Like,
yeah.
I was confused because I was just like, who was that again? Like,
yeah.
Who are these people? So.
Neither of us are big. I'm probably going to get some hate for this. Neither of us are like huge Halloween fans. The first movie's good, and watching this one kind of makes me like think back on the original Halloween and like how good it actually is. And I think the first one is the best one. Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2 is also pretty good. The sequels are terrible. I like H2O a little bit.
To be fair, the Halloween movie that I've seen the most probably is H2O. Because it's always on TV.
Yeah.
And we always make fun of fucking Josh
Hartnett's hair.
So like it's
the same hair he had
out to me the most.
Same hair he had in The Faculty, by the way. Same hair.
Yeah, and a lot of people probably don't even like that one. So like
no, that one's good. I think most people will agree that's not a bad sequel.
Yeah.
I think that one's fine. But I love H2O's Laurie Strode. She's the best part about that movie. The part where she grabs the axe and she starts screaming Michael when she locks herself in the school. Chills every time. And I feel like in these two Halloween movies, Laurie Strode's not as cool as she was in H2O. She has her moments, I guess.
Yeah.
But we'll get into like kind of my issues with her in this.
She's older, so.
Yeah, fair. I mean,
that's kind of the.
H2O happened in like 98.
It's kind of I mean. We'll get into that later with those whole spoiler.
Yeah, because like I said, I don't want to say anything about that. But so I mean, like, all right, just to get like kind of like our initial thoughts, reaction, review out of the way. I don't think this is as good as Halloween 2018.
No,
I don't think it's as good as that. There's a lot more carnage and gore and kills, and Michael is very, very pissed off, and he is just gloriously played by James Jude Courtney. I think he's just as good as Nick Castle. I feel like James Jude Courtney is like the Kane Hodder for Michael Myers. His posture, the way he carries the walk, everything, his movements. Michael's the best part of this movie. Every scene he's on, he steals it, as he should. It's a fucking Halloween movie, and I think that he was perfectly cast. I mean, the dude's in his 60s and is in here killing it. I mean, he's age appropriate for Michael. It works out great. The movie's very well shot. David Gordon Green knows what he's doing. Very homagey to the originals. Very competently, colored and in light and all that good stuff. But I mean, I think the issues come down for me is like the script, really.
Yeah.
All right, so I think. Well, hold on. You want to do any broad strokes before we get into like the spoilers? Because your issues are.
No, because my only issue really is that, without going into spoilers, just watch the 2018 Halloween.
Yeah. We got a cat.
We have a cat. Come on, cat.
So we'll get into spoilers then. And I guess we'll kind of start out with just how ridiculous a lot of this movie is. It's
specifically the killings. A lot of the killings are a little ridiculous.
She thinks they're ridiculous. I will defend them.
But I don't mean it in a bad way. Just very.
Pause story.
A little.
You keep talking.
A little over the top is what I would say.
No red-blooded slasher fan such as myself will complain about gory kills at all. I love that kind of thing. It does just get ridiculous. Okay, so I have notes I've taken from the movie. So Mikey hid in Laurie Strode's gun case, like the metal gun case in her basement to survive the fire. He pops out when the firefighters are there, and like he kills a couple of them inside, and he goes out front, and there's like 10 of them standing in front of him, and they have like, axes and a hose and like the jaws of life
chainsaw, like,
and he just easily disposes them like he's like John Wick or something. Which, I mean, Michael's always kind of had like that supernatural side to him. I get it, but I mean,
now the camera shot there was cool though, because they were filming. They kept like in between kills. They kept going in between the first guy that he killed, like through his like helmet or his like eye mask.
Yeah.
So that was like kind of interesting in the way that they like shot that. But I was like, again, very, very over the top, ridiculous.
Very gory.
Michael Myers versus like 10 firefighters who should be trained and very fit enough to take down Michael Myers. I guess not.
Some of the shit that Michael Myers gets away with in this movie, I feel, is almost like Jason Voorhees-esque. They're very different. Michael Myers is more like, I'm going to illuminate the shadows, and like, I don't know, I guess he got a little creative in the sequels. But I mean, I guess if we're going solely based off the original 1978 Halloween, which is like the direct sequels to, I mean, he's just like, he's pissed and he's mean and
but that's what Laurie Strode said though. She said that the more he's killing, the more he's, so they kind of allude to that being that like the more he kills, the more he's unkillable.
He gets stronger.
He's
he's like Freddy Krueger. The more you believe,
he's like sucking in the souls of all the people he kills,
all the Dream Warriors,
he's
man.
He's becoming immortal slowly.
So that
it adds up the years for how old they are. So he gets less years for kids.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
that's why he skipped that kid. He skipped Lonnie. So he was like, that's only 9 years to add. I'll wait till you're older.
I mean, so Laurie saying that kind of brings me to a big negative I have. We groaned at some of the dialogue in this movie. It's kind of, some of the dialogue's kind of cringy.
It's just long. I felt like there were so many scenes that were very similar that were very long. Like Laurie Strode being in the hospital.
Spends the whole fucking movie in the hospital.
Yes, like almost.
Laurie, that's what we're talking about. This ain't H2O's fucking Laurie Strode. This is, I'm hurting in a hospital, Laurie Strode.
Yes, and like how many times did she keep saying like, I'm gonna get him, I'm gonna get him.
Then she would get up, and then she would go right back to her hospital bed.
And I don't think she ever even faced Michael Myers the whole movie. Now that I think about it, did she ever?
No, they never saw each other.
No,
they never see each other at all.
She's in the hospital just believing this whole entire time that he's dead because her daughter lies to her.
Yeah, that was something
and
she
doesn't
did.
tell her that he's dead.
That lie literally is useless because it only lasts like 7 minutes of runtime.
I thought that when the nurse came in, she was gonna like spill the beans, and I'm like, oh shit! Like, what if this nurse spills the fucking beans? Like, her daughter just fucking lied to her. But then that never happens either. So you're just kind of like, why is Jamie Lee Curtis like? She got the easiest paycheck for this movie because she just sat in a hospital bed the whole entire time.
She was also an executive producer.
Well, okay. Well, she's raking in the money between that and what's that yogurt she had?
So yeah, the Dan Active.
Yeah.
You got to stay regular, okay? She's regular in the hospital bed. So like the whole plot behind this movie is like Tommy Doyle from the original movie like riles up the townspeople and he gets them like all in basically like a lynch mob for Michael Myers, and it's just like, I don't know, like I didn't hate that as much as she did. She thought it was a little bit ridiculous.
Okay, so first of all, there's this couple in a bar, and behind them is
original
Tommy,
victims from like the 1978 movie.
Tommy, Lindsay, and Lonnie.
The nurse. Yeah.
Right. All three of them are back there. They're being loud, so that they're like, hey, can you guys keep it down? And then they find out that they're survivor victims from Michael Myers. But the whole thing with that is that like they're leaving because they hear that Michael Myers is back, and then like the escaped mental patient there's another
mental patient that escaped Shady Acres or whatever it is.
Yes.
Shady Grove, I can't remember the name of it, with Michael, and he's running around town as well as Michael.
Yes.
But people think that mental patient is Michael because nobody knows what Michael looks like. But he's like this decrepit ass old man who's like hunched over like a question mark. This dude ain't killing 12 firefighters in a shot.
Yeah, and that was a lot of the times in the movie that I was kind of disappointed was when it was like the whole like it was always like a mob.
Yeah.
It was always like a community mob. Like we're gonna get Michael.
Oh, hold on, I have that.
Michael.
Hashtag evil dies tonight.
Yeah.
Hashtag
like,
cringe. I'm sorry. I mean,
it's-
like these people are talking like the way that people don't talk. It's like they're all talking like they're like waiting for their line to be cut into the trailer. Like
Yes.
hashtag evil won't win. Like I mean.
Yeah.
And I'm not that guy who's super critical in that. I can take a little bit of cheese, but I guess like this movie's trying to be like really serious, but at the same time, like that shit's cheesy.
Yeah, and between the generations of like Laurie Strode, her daughter Karen, and then her daughter Allison,
Yeah.
it's very confusing because then it's like Laurie Strode's like, I'm gonna kill Michael, but then like the daughter's like, no, Mom, he's dead. You can't kill him, or you just have to stay here. And she tells her daughter the same thing, but then like in the end, she's the one that's like, I'm gonna go kill Michael, and it's like. You were just so against it. Like, what do you? There's too many. They're just They're all rebelling, and they're all just trying to kill Michael.
Yeah, because the Laurie Strode's daughter tells her granddaughter to stay back, but her granddaughter goes out and is like, I'm gonna fight Michael anyway.
With her boyfriend and his dad, Lonnie.
And that worked out really well.
Very well.
So
That kill though on.
Oh yeah, it was ruthless.
Her boyfriend.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite kill in the movie. I mean, it's a neck snap, but like, yeah, her little boyfriend, Lonnie's kid. I mean, he beat the shit out of him, and then Michael, you think he's not gonna kill him, and then he does just an absolute mint neck crack on the kid.
Yeah,
and it's like I was like, holy shit, hell yeah.
That kill was like overkill on that kid for sure.
But Michael Myers thing is kind of overkill. Like I feel like Michael Myers, he's like that kid. I mean, he is that kid because if you watch the Rob Zombie ones too, but like he is that kid who like finds neighborhood animals and like cuts them up. Like he's that kind of guy. Like he's not. I don't want to say like Jason Voorhees is like a fun killer or Freddy is, but I mean they are compared to Michael. Michael's just brutal.
He's
and in this
ruthless.
movie,
he doesn't. There's no. He kills kids. There's nothing.
No discrimination. Besides that baby in 2018. Remember, he left the baby alone.
I guess if you're a baby,
The
then
baby,
you're safe. But he
But
also skipped over Lonnie that was like crying. Remember,
Yeah.
he was getting bullied and he was like crying on the floor. So
he
maybe,
disappeared.
So maybe he has like a little tiny inkling of just, oh, I can't kill that person. They're just a little too sad,
But he's
like
supposed
or
to be.
a baby.
He's
or
supposed
something.
to be pure evil. So I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Though it's like, I mean, without going over the whole plot, I mean, I guess like stuff let's go over stuff we liked. We've been a little negative for a minute.
Okay.
All right.
the killings were good.
Yeah.
They were gory.
Yeah.
They showed a lot.
Yeah, there was
Like
some
eye gouging,
good gore effects.
stabbing, neck, just a fluorescent light bulb right into a lady's neck.
Yeah.
Like, just cut straight through like butter.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
so, yeah, the killings, good.
And I
Great.
do like
Entertaining.
Like I said before, I like James Dew Courtney as Michael. He does a really, really good job. He's just mean spirited, and there's probably my favorite scene in the movie was at the end. So the granddaughter of Laurie Strode, Allison, confronts Michael with her boyfriend and his dad Lonnie or whatever, and they're the Myers home. That's where Michael. The whole crux of this movie is he's not after Laurie. He wants to return to his ancestral family home, and so he goes there, and they know he's going there and all that stuff. So they confront him and all that stuff, and then they have a fight. He ends up getting what's Laurie Strode's daughter's name? Karen ends up luring Michael out of the house by ripping his mask off. And there's something about that scene I really liked because like you kind of get a hint earlier that Michael doesn't want to have his mask on, and that's hinted at in the original Halloween when Laurie Strode rips his mask off. He's like, "Oh shit, I gotta put my mask back on." So she rips his mask off, Karen, and she lures him out to get ambushed by the townsfolk. But there's like this really cool scene of like him walking around without his mask on, and like she throws the mask on the ground, and he goes to pick it up, and he realizes he's surrounded by townspeople, and he just kind of like slowly picks his mask up on, and he's like, fuck. And he puts his mask back on.
Yeah, he accepts it. Like, he's like, all right, I'm going to have to either just take this or...
Yeah.
He goes out swinging. Like, he's cutting people up he's...
Yeah, he cuts people up while he's doing it, and he does get defeated at first, but then our main characters leave.
Okay, and here's another ridiculousness of it. Yeah, so the main characters leave, and all of a sudden Michael Myers is like, haha, I was just kidding. I'm still alive because the more I kill, the stronger I get. You
and he
kill me.
he fucking murders this mob of people.
Everybody.
Dude, this dude is in
Tommy.
Dude, Michael. Yes, he kills Tommy. Tommy did not swing
no one's
Lucille,
safe
bro.
in this movie, by the way. I mean, we said earlier, spoiler alert, but like nobody's literally safe in this movie.
I won't give away like the very end, but yeah, Michael's not dead. They're going to do a third one. Halloween Ends, and this movie, like, Michael gets the absolute shit kicked out of him, and you gotta suspend some disbelief for it, you know, like whatever. Like in the sequels, he was part of that cult, so he was like the pawn of their stuff, but I mean, that's not canon for the films, but this one, like, I mean, he gets stabbed in the back. He's bleeding the whole goddamn movie from the first injuries he had from the original, and he's burned.
Yeah,
they beat the living shit out of him, and he gets shot.
They show his face, but not
shadows.
Completely, but it's in shadows, and you can tell he's fucked up. You can tell he's like,
yeah.
You're like, how the hell are you alive? How can you even see? It looked like he had no eyeballs.
This dude better be like, he better be like wheeling himself out in a wheelchair, and Halloween Ends. Yeah. Unless he like regenerates. Maybe he's a mutant.
She's gonna H2O his ass.
Yeah. He's gonna chop his head off.
Chop his head off.
Okay, so that was kind of like our initial reaction discussion about Halloween Kills. I kind of like this format. This was fun. We were discussing it, you know? Yeah. Okay, so I mean, if you made it this far, and if you want a rating from me, man, this is going to be hard. A lot of this movie is going to be memorable for me. I feel like I will remember this movie. I won't forget about it. But I just don't, and I would rewatch it for like the gore and kills. You know, I put this on with like my friends and some whiskey, have a good time. I think it would be a great double feature with the first one, even though it goes off the rails a little bit, just because it's literally like back to back. Fuck, man, out of 10. So out of 5 for me, out of 5 for you. I don't know. I'm thinking like 2.5 maybe for me.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay.
The killings were great.
Yeah.
The story, I think if I watched 2018 Halloween before I watched this, I would probably give it a higher rating. Yeah. And I think that we should watch them back to back one of these nights, because I feel like that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be a continuous, a part 1 and a part 2. It's not just a sequel. Yeah. It's literally Halloween Part 1, Halloween Part 2. They should have just named it that. Yeah. Because it going just right into it, it's almost like you probably should just watch it a back-to-back feature.
Yeah, you should double feature
in order to get both characters of Laurie Strode fresh in your mind, because of the sense that she doesn't have a lot of scenes in the second one. Mm-hmm. She does, but it's there's no action. You're not getting anything from her.
She's very underutilized.
She's not trying to kill. You get all that in 2018. Yeah. You get her trying to kill Michael Myers. You get her being badass and no one believing her because they think that she's crazy. You know, like you get that. In this one, you don't get that from that character. And I don't even know if you really get that from any character in there, really. There's really no one that stood out that was like...
Tommy Doyle, dude.
Tommy Doyle.
Tommy was scarier than Michael in this fucking movie.
They kind of killed off Tommy Doyle like a bitch, though. He was in the little mob fight when he was like, oh, I woke up. Yeah. And that's another thing, too, is Michael Myers... But it's... Okay. Michael Myers, I will say, he is a very goofy man when it comes to killing his people, because he does do some weird stuff. Like, he put on, like, the record player. He was playing music.
He presents them.
He, like, propped them up on the spin thing at recess, whatever that thing is. The merry-go-round spin thing.
With the Halloween 3 masks.
Yeah,
that was cool.
like, he does things. He doesn't just kill and just, like, walk away. It was like, okay, I killed that person.
He likes to go, look at my kill.
Yeah, he's presenting. And sometimes you're just kind of like... Like, when you think about, like, off-screen, you're like, so he propped all those people up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so did he kill him? And he's like, before anybody gets here, I'm going to put this...
Yeah, right. He's like, they're going to...
Well, I mean, he did that shit.
Put on the music.
He did that shit in Halloween, the original one. But I agree.
It's something that kind of stands out as his character if you think about it in, like, the way that, like, you're like, oh, like, he doesn't just kill. He kills and then does things with their body. Yeah, Michael. And sometimes they're comical.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I
that's why I give it a 3. I don't want to say
I'm a person.
I'm gonna middle the road it kind of, because it was. I didn't fall asleep. I didn't get tired. it was just some of the scenes where, like, Laurie Strode is talking to, like, the sheriff, and, like, they're in the hospital, and it was just a lot of talking. I was like, just get to the point. We've already talked about this. Yeah, you want to kill Michael. We get it. Okay. You know? So, like, there was just some slow parts in between the good killings. If you like a good killing, good gore, good...
This is definitely I watched this for the kills movie.
Yes.
Because it's just fucking carnage the whole time. He is pissed and he's killing everybody. I feel like maybe my 2.5 is too low, and so that what would that be, a 5.5 from the two of us?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go 3 or not, because I don't know if I think this merits a 6 out of 10 for me, but I feel like 5.5 is kind of low.
Just give it 2.5 now, and then maybe
we'll revisit.
If we revisit with the 1 and the 2 going into each other, we can be like, you know what?
Amend the review.
That does make a lot more sense, and now that it's fresh to me, I'm getting both badass Laurie and stabbed Laurie in the hospital. So
I feel like a 5.5 is okay from the two of us, because that's still on the recommended side of the scale. You know, we're not recommending it. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I just had higher expectations and I was kind of let down. Like I said, there's stuff to love. It's just like that script and dialogue. It's just the mob and like the cringy ass like one-liner dialogue. It really kind of took me out of it, and it's hard for me to like kind of really like justify some of it.
There's too much of it in between killings. Like, you get a lot of heavy killing in the beginning, lot of story, maybe like a couple killings or off-screen killings, or like one, and then like a bunch of killings towards the end. So like just in the middle it gets slow. That's my only complaint. It gets very slow and very repetitive with the whole characters complaining about the same thing but having the same goal of all just wanting to kill Michael Myers.
All right. Hope you enjoyed our Just Chatting.
What was our final?
5.5 out of 10.
5. Okay. For now.
I hope you enjoyed our...
Could change.
We're humans. We can adjust our scores over time. I've learned to like movies more over time, and like some movies less over time. It's a thing that can happen.
This is first watch. We might like it again.
Initial reactions. That's what I wanted to get out. Hope you enjoyed our Just Chatting podcast version of the review. Maybe you like this format. I don't know. We kind of rambled, but hey, I liked it. So maybe we'll do another review tomorrow, like a more traditional. Maybe we'll do another podcast. Who knows? So, cheers.
Cheers.